Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we turn the page to a new chapter in the compelling saga of CEO James and Lee Too Deep. A story that has captured hearts with its raw emotion, unwavering resilience, and profound transformation. If you followed their journey, you'll remember every twist, the heartbreaks, misunderstandings, and moments when it all seemed too broken to mend. Yet, through patience, love, and deep trust, they found their way back to one another. And now, after all the storms, comes the sun, a dreamlike wedding, a baby born from love, and the home they always longed for, until a shadow from the past dares to return. The wedding of souls. The day of their wedding wasn't just a ceremony, it was a triumph. Held at a riverside villa kissed by golden afternoon light, the venue blossomed with deep red and ivory roses as if the universe had paused to celebrate love's victory. James stood still, overcome, as Deep walked down the petal-strewn aisle in a gown that seemed woven from dreams. Her hair, pinned with delicate grace beneath a flowing veil, framed eyes shimmering with love. When she reached him, he took her hand and whispered, "From this moment on, I'll be the one to protect you for life." In that moment, the broken man who once rejected love became whole again, thanks to the woman whose quiet strength had taught him how to feel. Building a home, not just a house. After the ceremony, the joy didn't end, it deepened. Their new life together bloomed in a home not defined by luxury, but by laughter, warm meals, and long embraces. They weren't just husband and wife. They became soulmates, each the other's harbor after a storm-tossed past. Soon after, came their son, a chubby, radiant little boy, a perfect blend of James's soulful eyes and Deep's luminous smile. His arrival melted even the most guarded heart, including James's mother, who had once kept her distance. Now, she embraced Deep not just as a daughter-in-law, but as her own, a love that keeps its roots. Despite their luxurious new life, Deep never forgot where she came from. Several times a week, she returned to her old, modest home with its flowering gourds and familiar animal companions. It wasn't about missing the past, it was about honoring it. There, she tended the garden, watered the plants, sold vegetables at the local market, not for money, but for connection. Her neighbors called out to her just like before, surprised but moved to see the wealthy bride rolling up her sleeves with the same humility she'd always carried. James never tried to stop her. He simply reminded, "Come back before it gets too cold or rains." "I'll wait for dinner." In this balance between two worlds, their love found its rhythm. Deep steps into power. Marriage didn't confine Deep, it elevated her. With time, she stepped into James's corporate world, not as a figurehead but as a partner. What began as silent attendance at boardroom meetings turned into insightful participation. Deep's intuitive mind and people-first approach won the admiration of employees and executives alike. She offered suggestions that reshaped company strategies, proving that her grace extended far beyond the home. And her influence didn't stop in boardrooms. She stood beside James in flood-ravaged villages and landslide-hit regions, not as an observer, but as someone knee-deep in mud, handing out food and hope. Where others saw a CEO's wife, the locals saw something more, a woman with a heart as wide as the world. Lessons in love and business. Back home, James shared his world with Deep, not as a teacher, but as a lover and friend. Through metaphors from her old life, vegetable baskets and small soil plots, he introduced her to the intricacies of profit, strategy, and supply chains. She learned fast, surprising him with her growing curiosity. "At this rate, you'll be CEO soon," he teased. She only smiled. "I don't need that. Just learning by your side every day is enough." Together, they weren't just building a company. They were building a legacy. A new chapter begins. Then came the miracle. 2 lines on a pregnancy test that changed everything. Deep fell to the floor in quiet tears, overwhelmed. When she told James, he didn't speak. He simply embraced her, trembling, whispering, "Thank you for the greatest gift of all." From that moment, everything in their lives shifted. James' once hectic routines made way for evening walks, lullabies, and father-son bonding. He poured love into every small act, whispering to the growing baby in Deep's belly every night. "9 months passed in sacred anticipation. When the day finally came, James was a bundle of nerves, clasping Deep's hand on the way to the hospital, tears in his eyes. And then, after what felt like an eternity, a cry echoed down the hallway. A nurse emerged. "It's a boy. Both are healthy." James collapsed in relief. Holding his newborn son for the first time, he whispered, "Hello, son." "I'm here. I'll always be here." Peace at last, or so it seemed. Their villa soon rang with laughter and warmth. Their son grew quickly, bright, attentive, full of life. He brought the entire family closer, especially Deep and her once distant mother-in-law. This was, at last, the life they had fought for. But shadows don't always stay buried. A ghost resurfaces. Just as life felt perfect, a chilling message arrived. John, the man who had nearly destroyed them, had escaped prison. Not only that, but he had help. A dangerous, powerful force was behind him. James froze, instinctively clutching his son. His fear wasn't for his wealth or reputation, it was for them, his wife and child. Was John coming back for revenge? Would he strike from the shadows or walk straight through the front door? James now faced a choice no man should bear. Should he protect his family by hiding the truth? Or prepare them for a storm that might destroy everything? The past wasn't done with them, not yet.